This is a review of the Edgenuity lesson, trapezoids and kites. So this first one here, we have an isosceles trapezoid, and I know that because these legs here are congruent. And when you have an isosceles trapezoid, the pair of base angles are congruent. So let me just show, these are the bases. So those angle pairs are going to be the same, meaning this is going to be the same as this, and A is going to be the same as D. So we are trying to find the measure of angle ADC. So if this is 65 degrees, then ADC will also be 65 degrees. On the second one, it says, what is the measure of angle GHE? So that's this one here. That's what we're trying to find out. So these are not the base pair, the pair of base angles, because the bases are here and here. So I can't just say that that's 110 degrees. If we were looking for F, I could say this was 110 degrees. One thing that I don't think that they talk about in the video is that the angles along the legs are actually supplementary. So that means they add to 180 degrees. So 110 plus, we don't know, I'll just put an H in there, has to equal 180 degrees. They're supplementary along the legs. So if I just solve for H here, we would see that angle H, or the measure of angle GHE, is 70 degrees. For example 3, it says, what is the value of x? So we know that right here, this is 9x degrees, and this is 3x degrees. There's two ways that you can solve this. The first way is, remember that the angles along the bases are the same because it's an isosceles trapezoid. It only works when it's an isosceles trapezoid. So what I could do is, because this is 9x degrees, I know that this is also 9x. I've just told you on the last one, the angles along the legs add up to 180 degrees. So I could say 9x plus 3x has to equal 180. So from there, if we combine our like terms, 9x plus 3x is 12x, and divide both sides by 12, we'll get that x is 15. The other way that you could do it is also copy the 3x degrees right here. And remember, on all quadrilaterals, if you add up all their angles, all of them, it has to add to 360. So similarly, we would just go 9x plus 9x plus 3x plus 3x has to equal 360. And then you would put those together and solve, and you will still get 15 for that. Now, looking at kites. This example says find the value of x and y. So remember, on a kite, there's two pairs of legs that are congruent, but they're consecutive, not opposite. So if these two are the same down here, I know that segment AB has to be congruent to segment BC. So then I know that these two lengths have to be the same. So to solve that, I would just go 4x minus 3 has to equal 2x plus 7. Subtract 2x from both sides. Add the 3. And divide by 2. So x is 5 there. Okay, so now solving for y. So this angle here is 79 degrees. This says 5y degrees, and down here is 61 degrees. So for a kite, the angles that are formed by the non-congruent sides, so like these are not the same length, they're actually the same. So angle C and angle A are going to be the same measure. So I'm going to write 5y degrees over here. And just like we talked about on the last one, if you add up all the angles in any quadrilateral, they add up to 360. So 5y plus 5y plus 79 plus 61 has to equal 360 degrees. So if I go ahead and combine my like terms, I get 10y plus 140 equals 360. And if we solve from there, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 140 from both sides. and then divide by 10. So y is 22.